There's been some Anakin Skywalker slander, and I'm not going to stand for it. Ever since Dune 2 came out, everybody's saying that Paul Atreides is a much better character than Anakin. Well, you're wrong. Let me learn you why Paul Atreides is not the better chosen one. There are some major differences, especially whenever it comes to the prophecies that both of these characters fulfill. First, taking a look at Anakin, the Force is part of the religion, yes, but it's also a very real thing and is partly the reason that Anakin was even born.
Who was his father?
There was no father.
The Chosen One prophecy in Star Wars is a real prophecy. It's been told for a very long time, many generations, and honestly, there's not really a ton of requirements other than them being powerful, and everybody knows that they're going to bring balance to the Force. Now, the Chosen One prophecy in Dune, on the other hand, was sown by the Bene Gesserit for generations across many different worlds, many different cultures. There are so many different versions of the Chosen One prophecy in Dune that whenever Paul finally fits that mold, even the Reverend Mother doesn't take his side because they have so many different candidates across the galaxy. This is one of the many ways that the Bene Gesserit control what is happening in the galaxy. Religion is a very powerful thing, even in the real world. They also have a ton of requirements for their Chosen One, but it just so happens that Paul fulfills those, but there's a very specific reason why he does. Now, the specific reason that Paul fits the mold of that Chosen One prophecy is because his mother raised him to be that. His entire life, his mother, who chose to have a son rather than a daughter so that she could fulfill that prophecy, raised him to fit that mold. And she even goes as far in Dune Part 2 to make sure everyone who doubts Paul being the Chosen One eventually becomes a believer. I mean, that's like her personal mission in the movie, and it's crazy. Now, Anakin, on the other hand, was never really raised to be the Chosen One. Being born without a father because the Force wanted him to be born, he had a lot of doubters, even though he was extremely powerful. The thing with Anakin is that he didn't really care to try to win people over. All he wanted to win over was Padme. She is also the reason he wanted to become a master so badly, so he could save her, because by becoming a master, he would have access to more of the Jedi archives, which he believed held the secret to saving his wife. And that's kind of Anakin's entire motive. Anakin wasn't trying to fulfill this prophecy, he was just trying to save his family. Now, Paul Atreides, on the other hand, this guy wanted to fulfill that prophecy. Honestly, his motivations kind of just seem like mommy set this in place and I want to make her proud. And then he also had the lust for power and control over the galaxy. Now, a lot of people are comparing Dune Part 2 to Empire Strikes Back, and for good reason, because there are some major revelations that are very similar to Empire Strikes Back. But Paul learns about his heritage of being a Harkonnen. When he learns this, he accepts it and he becomes the exact person that he hates just so he can win. Fully becomes a part of who he is as a character. This is pretty similar to Empire Strikes Back because Luke learns about Vader being his father, but we're not comparing Paul and Luke, are we? While Paul learns about who his family was, Anakin is the giant revelation in Star Wars. Anakin's story is what Luke learns that moves the rest of the story along. Anakin turns on everyone who ever supported him just to save his wife. But because he turned on everyone that supported him, he loses his wife. It's entirely his fault. While Paul basically does everything he can to fulfill the role of the Chosen One, and he basically gets whatever he wants, which is power and status. Now, don't get me wrong, I really love Dune, and I think if they continue to make movies this good, it can take off and become a massive franchise. Just stop coming for Anakin Skywalker, the real Chosen One. He is a better character than Paul Atreides, like it or not. Now, it's true, Star Wars did take a lot of inspiration from Dune. That's no secret. But all I'm saying is, Star Wars made their films a very long time ago that kicked off one of the most massive franchises in all of history, while Dune is just now getting a foothold. Not only are they just now getting a foothold, that's with modern technology and a massive budget. Star Wars did not have that. I just think Star Wars executed everything way better. I also don't think I need to remind people that this isn't the first time they tried to make a Dune franchise.
Not sorry enough.
What's wrong with Gurney?
There's a reason it wasn't bigger than Star Wars. Now, obviously, this video is all fun and games because I do love both of these franchises. Just my channel is really based around Star Wars, and I do think Anakin is a bit of a better character than Paul Atreides. According to some of the people who've read the books and talk online, Paul isn't even the main character of the books. Apparently, he's just like a guy that exists. Now, just because I think Anakin is a better character doesn't mean I'm not open for discussion in the comments, so make sure you let me know what you think. If you love Star Wars and just science fiction in general, make sure you subscribe and share this channel with everybody you know. I appreciate you for watching, and may the Force be with you.